I feel CAT is a more number-oriented exam, and at the same time, XAT is a more language-oriented exam. And when you learn a subject, then you move on to another, another chapter in the same subject, like in quants. You should keep on revising the one you learned earlier. That is a very golden rule. If you don't do that, you'll forget the one you learned earlier. Hello everybody, my name is Asad Malik. I was born and brought up in Kanpur, Uttar Pradesh. I pursued my bachelor's in political science from Delhi University, Sri Venkateshwara College. Then I worked some freelance work around marketing and copywriting. Post that, I was managing my family business, which is a manufacturing firm of corrugated boxes and cartons. Simultaneously, I was also pursuing my master's in clinical psychology. And I was done with it in July 2023, and while managing my family business instigated my urge to pursue a degree in management. In XAT I scored 99.88 and I had 98.7 plus in all the three sections. So the basic difference I see in CAT and XAT, they both have three sections, that is the similarity. But I feel CAT is a more number oriented exam, and at the same time, XAT is a more language-oriented exam, because in CAT we have a QA, which is obviously numbers. Then in LRDI we also have numbers. Then obviously we have VARC, which is just one section. And in XAT we have two sections which focus a lot on language. And even in quants, in the XAT exam, it is like if you read the question well, it will be very easy for you. For verbal, I think you should read more editorials, you should read poems, you should learn about figures of speech, and all vocabulary. You should work on your vocabulary if you have the time. It's not a very short-term thing. If you have time, you can work on your vocab as well. For decision making, you should not focus on mocks, because a lot of mocks give faulty questions in the decision-making section. So you should just focus on the previous year XAT papers. And for quants, I think the quants is very friendly for non-engineers, especially in XAT. So I think you should just focus on reading the question well. And if you read the question well, you will get through it. When I used to study, I gave like 4 hours to quant, and I used to give just 1 hour or 1.5 hours to VA and DM both. So you need to focus a bit more on your weakest section. Whenever we go for an exam, we are tensed. So my strategy was attempting my favorite section first, which was my strong point. Like I attempted the sections I liked the most, which was VALR and DM. So I attempted these both in less than 1.5 hours. Then I had like more than 1.5 hours for just quant, because that is my weakest. But I scored well in that too. But that was my strategy for attempting that. So I'll tell them to revise the concepts first, because if they just start focusing on solving the question, they'll not learn anything, because the questions will not be the same in the exam. So you should first focus on revising all the concepts, and when you learn a subject, then you move on to another another chapter in the same subject, like in quants. You should keep on revising the one you learned earlier. That is a very golden rule. If you don't do that, you'll forget the one you learned earlier. Actually, when I saw the XAT paper for the first time, I really liked the pattern, because it was not very knowledge oriented. It was basically more aptitude oriented. So if you know your way through the basic English, in DM they basically focus on ethics. Like nobody should be in a bad position. And in quants, the quants is also very friendly for non-engineers as well. So I did not find any hiccups in that paper. I actually liked the pattern of the exam. I had MDI, I had IIT Bombay, I had IM Kozhikode, then I had SIBM, SCMHRD, NMIMS. These were the calls I had. First comes the behavioral questions, like the generic questions that are asked in interviews. You need to prepare them, which are common for all the interviews. Then you should focus on the college a bit. When you go for a specific interview, you should learn about it from the website. You should learn about the departments. And if you're interested in academia, you should learn about the faculty as well. So these are the things you need to practice. Yeah, the key I feel to cracking an interview is to treat as a general conversation. To assume that you are on a vacation and you met somebody and you are just talking casually to him. If you feel you are going to an interview, you will always be tensed. So that is the way I approached interviews, and I think it worked well because I converted almost all the colleges I sat for the interview. It started with my work ex, which was around my family business. I got asked about my suppliers, my client base, then my margin, what is the wastage in my industry. Then it moved on to the sustainability part. How can I make my business more sustainable? Another prof asked me about my hobbies. So I mentioned a couple of my hobbies, trekking and martial arts. Then we talked about martial arts and trekking for a bit. Then we moved on to spirituality. So it was not a very generic interview. It depends on your answers, however you give the answers, that will lead the interview. I mean, who in their right mind wouldn't? It is the oldest B school in India, and it is obviously among the top B schools also. The legacy it holds made me choose it over all the other options I had. First come the legacy, obviously, and then the faculty is very good. The institution, the connection that the people have, even the seniors are very helpful. The seniors who have passed out are also taking initiatives to help the juniors. Then all the facilities otherwise are also very great.